The propagation of plantations and the rise of cash cropping in Africa grew with the advent of colonialism and its roots in imperial unjust trade relations that preceded it. In terms of history, industrial tree plantations in Africa were not basically established for the benefit of the continent. Today, the colonial patterns largely remain, and investments are made by national and transnational corporations with the support of international financial institutions. The African People's Tribunal (APT) on industrial plantations is an initiative of Friends of the Earth Africa and seeks to unblock access to justice for peoples and communities across the continent who have suffered unmitigated land grabs, displacements, contamination of the environment, human and labor rights abuses, gender-based violence including sexual abuse, racism and other affronts including torture, false imprisonment, and related indignities. The jurors were selected from 5 African countries and comprised of the following members: Alfred Akpau Otengieboa from Ghana, Ikala Angele from Kenya, Makoma Likalakala from South Africa, and Nimo Bassi from Nigeria. The APT received and renewed 10 cases from 10 countries, namely Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Gabon, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Mozambique, Nigeria, Tanzania, and Uganda. The cases were presented through written and oral submissions by representatives of affected communities and their allied organizations. Some of these representatives were physically present in Lagos, while others joined remotely via Zoom.
There were 10 cases brought by communities in 10 African countries to report the human rights abuses, social and economic abuses and deprivations that they've suffered at the hands of the transnational corporations operating the plantations in their countries. And so over 2 days, or rather over 3 days, these cases were heard, and today we just delivered the verdict.
In all the cases, the APT saw the connivance between government and transnational corporations to grab community lands. There is a general reign of systematic oppression and the use of state security forces against the affected peoples in all cases brought before the APT.
The African People's Tribunal, has in the course of this program been able to take a critical appraisal of all the complaints from all the countries that were here represented, on an issue bordering on monoculture, plantation and industrial plantations. He's been able to look at the impact of the activities of multinational companies, the impact it has had on the community people and their livelihood.
The APT finds in favor of the communities and recommends that all 10 corporations should immediately and adequately compensate the communities for loss of lives, social and economic losses, and restore their lands to them. The APT also recommends that governments in the relevant countries should immediately set up a mechanism to review existing arrangements with plantation corporations, openly and transparently engage with communities and revert wrongfully acquired lands and forests to the communities. The APT calls on international organizations, including financial institutions, to stop supporting or funding activities that oppress communities and abuse their rights.